Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today in this video we have the Great Britain GP weekend for you guys, and as you can see, practice 3 and qualifying it is going to be dry, and going into the race is going to be wet. So what I have done, just so we can prepare for the race, because we ain't allowed to take any like suspension stuff or anything else to change into the race, so we're going to make sure we can have a half decent wet setup. So we've got 9.5 on the wings, and I just thought, because obviously we need the grip in the wet, and then I'm not too sure about the camber and the toe, but it feels good on dry, and we probably could put it up a bit more, but I thought we would run a lower ride height just so we can stick to the track, but I reckon suspension's quite sweet as where it is, and obviously the tyre PSI, we ain't going to go that high with it just because we need the bigger tyre, the chunkier tyre, so we've got more to lean on. So that's what we have done with everything, and we seem to be okay with it. So I think if we just go with the 2 laps instead of the 3 laps like I think we did last episode with the 3 laps, so we'll just go with 2 laps this time, just because I know we're not going to get anywhere near pole position, but we seem to be very quick in the corners. And I thought if it's going to be a wet race, we can always just go with a wet setup going into qualifying, so they won't hamper us in the race. So obviously I've been practicing through practice 1, 2, and this is 3. We're going to be practicing with a wet setup, but and as well, we've used some of our RMD points, if you guys haven't seen already. We've used that on aerodynamics, so we thought we was losing just a bit of time with the aero, so I've changed it and spent about, I think it was a couple of thousand on aerodynamics. It was just 3 upgrades. We had a major, I think we had 2 majors and a minor, so just going slowly into this lap. Just see what pace we have with the wet setup in the dry. Easy flat out through here. But the corners we're so quick with, and this is where we're going to pick our pace just slightly through the race. As you can see that we get a warning for track limits. Now this weekend we've already had about 3 track limit warnings, and it's coming up to here where we've had them. We've run wide there, but it seems to be easy flat out now. Going into Maggotts and Beckett's favourite kind of corners to come to around Silverstone. but my team are hoping for P9. So if we do P9 with the wet setup, we should be no problem in the race at all. We should be steaming through the pack. Might be struggling with traction, but we seem to have lost time. Just use a flashback to here. That's my fault. But obviously through practice and... no, just practice, sorry. We're allowed to use as many flashbacks as we want. So... okay, cool. Right. So obviously with the wet setup it says we can qualify P5, but that won't happen. But obviously the wet setup is very good. We're just losing time to everyone, really. In sector 3 we know we could be stronger in sector 2, but we just couldn't hook the car up. But I'm not too bothered about like with major stuff. Well, that's just down to the my driving style and that. But if we're going to go into the race with just it's just going to be a wet race, it'd be an intermediate race it looks like, so it could go dry, but at the start of the race we're going to be having no problem getting through the field, and then it would just be us defending going into the corners, which we'll have no problem of doing. But coming out of last episode, I think we had around about 7,000 to 6,000 RMD points, so I've used a couple thousand, it looks like about 3,000-4,000 to do 3 aerodynamics. I think 2 of them were major and 1 of them were minor, but we can have a quick look on the RMD upgrades. And yeah, then we would need to upgrade then at the end of the season. Just need to make sure we have enough money for Daniel Ricciardo's contract by the end of the season, and then depending where we finish will be the prize money we can get, and then we might depending on what we feel like at the end of the season, we might change our main sponsor. It's maybe a bit of a more better one for us, because we're getting a lot of points and it's just we know where our car could be, and obviously I think 5 championship points is just a bit too easy now, so I think if we up the challenge a little bit to obviously make it more challenging and interesting for you guys to see what I can particularly do in a championship. But it's looking obviously car setup, we need that minimum fuel, but a wet race we should be. I'm tempted just to put the wing down a little bit, but I don't think we should because it would be a wet 4.8. I'm going to go with a 4.8 wing just in case. Obviously we're going into a wet race, so I think a 4.8 wing should be alright, and we should be a bit quicker down the straights in qualifying. But obviously we've got a lot of drag on the car, so and drive out. But just running a little bit more downforce could do the trick for the race, because we're not allowed to do anything because it's all in now parc fermé mode, is what they like to call it. But we just need to make sure we have enough fuel for the quali lap. We're just trying to get a decent gap to Ocon. No, Gasly, sorry, in front. It's not Ocon. But just taking it nice and easy. Right, as we're going to start our lap now. But 1:26.2 for Valtteri Bottas. Little lift there. Jesus Christ, Mercedes are very strong. Half a second down. But that's going to be... That's very wide. But as we cross the line, it's good enough for P3 with just half a second. So that would be down to the front wing and the rear wing, I would reckon. And obviously this is a setup for wet weather, so the time where we're losing it like massively is sector 1. I mean, like, we're losing it everywhere, but our main problem is sector 1. We're not losing too much in sector 2. In sector 3 we're not losing too much either, so it's probably a decent thing to go with a wet setup. Obviously you can see it can be wet for... Actually, you know what, no. Do we go 2? We'll have a look actually. and obviously the Mercedes are going out twice for Valtteri Bottas, but drive out, we're gonna go out.
Okay, let's go.
So yeah, I think a Mercedes is behind us, so we need to get a move on with this. So that's not going to help at all. So next race we get a brand new gearbox anyway. We don't even need a new gearbox, it's the CE and the SES, sorry, that we need. I'll go now. The qualifying is complete, and as you can see, Lewis Hamilton's just took off. And we've lost time, all the time we had in the second sector. So we need to give it absolutely everything going into this final sector. Very wide again. And across the line. Did we improve? And it's P5. It's like our qualifying pace said. And our true qualifying pace there.
But before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Hamilton, Bottas, and Daniel Ricciardo.
That's not bad, to be honest.
But don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Tell you what, Perez, P11. That's not like him. He's normally up front. But I reckon he's done the same what I've done. Is gone with a wet setup as well. So the Red Bull car, I think, is a bit better than us in engine power, but we have it, I think we have it in aero and the chassis department. So I think that's where they're losing us, is in the corners, and they're gaining it all down the straights. But obviously only the race will tell, and I think it's a wet race anyway, because it did say it would be a wet race. So that's why I've done the wet setup, and then I don't know if it's going to go wet to dry or start dry and then go to wet. So We beat Charles Leclerc in the rivalry, and we only need 2 more points to beat Charles. And then I think if we get one of the Mercedes, I think we'll pick the Mercedes. Gives us a bit of a challenge. Probably go with Lewis Hamilton because Bottas is absolutely flying. So we'll give our bit of a chance with Lewis. And I'll see you guys for the race. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today in this other part of the video we have the race, and as you can see guys, it is raining. And as we go to Jeff, weather report. But it's this light rain's going to stay with us for another at least 20 minutes, so that could give us probably an option at the end of the race to go to slicks. So we need to make a big impact at the start of this race. And I'm kind of glad we have gone with the 4-8 wings as well. But as we are lining up now for the Grand Prix, finished off the formation lap. We are watching the lights, Jeff, no problem at all. But need good traction coming off the start. That's all we need. And because it's wet, we won't use overtake or rich mix. We use it when we've got traction. Oh Jesus Christ. We get that good of a good start. Running quite low on fuel because it's wet and we can save. And we didn't want to, but obviously our teammate I think Leclerc hits us as well, so he would have front wing damage. As Leclerc comes in, so he's definitely got front wing damage. If we lock up going into the hairpin, and that's going to unsettle us for the corner. But obviously we don't have to stop. As that happens, so we'd use the first flashback that we're allowed. Because we said 2 flashbacks a race. So that's 1 used. And we are absolutely atrocious in the wet. Definitely need to work on being in the wet and how we can drive in the wet. But as long as we stay somewhere reasonably around here, I'll be happy. The traction we're just having coming out these corners is absolutely what we need to stay ahead of Albon. No. No. That was Albon's fault. We'll take it from Albon's point really quickly. Just look at this. We're coming across, and he just. That's Albon's fault there. I'm gonna go back. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Look, we're forcing him, as you can see. And he turns to the right, and then he turns to the left. Like that, to me, that's just too close. That's too close. He should have. What I think he should have. Well, depends how you want to say it. I would have immediately, obviously coming up behind him. You know that the driver in front like that is gonna come across to the right. So then, what I would have done is stay behind him. Well, me should I say. In fact, and then I would have gone to the right. I would have gone to the right. I would have gone the other side. Because then he wouldn't have covered that side. He would have gone to the right, and then obviously the left was free. So I'm going to use a flashback here as well. But I'm not happy if I had to use another flashback. But personally, that was Albon's fault. That was not my fault. I think I was just squeezing him. But on lap 3 we've already had to use our 2 flashbacks, so to be honest I think I should get a free one because of Albon, but I'm not. I'm going to stick to my rule. With only the 2 flashbacks a race, because otherwise we're just going to be using flashbacks and it's just not fair. So I've limited it down to 2, and we're going to keep it at 2 flashbacks. Keep in the middle of the track. But our teammate is just pulling away, and I think that would be good for the points for him and the team. Oh. Just holding everyone up. So if anything does happen, I think Ricciardo will have P3. And he just can't keep up. Uh-oh. Yes he can, he's got his interior, surely. No. That did surprise me. I would have thought he would have put his foot down a little bit more. But we're going to cover the outside actually. Into here. Just coming out this corner. We don't know how to. Deploying everything we got coming down here. It's another big thing, but just making sure we do bring the car home. I think we're lapping the same lap times to what Charles Leclerc's doing as well, so whatever Charles Leclerc is doing is what we are doing, I think, or Charles Leclerc might be going a bit quicker than us, but we're not bothered about that. We're bothered about keeping something's gone wrong there. It's a yellow flag for someone, I don't know who. Nick de Vries is out. Oh, that's a bit hit thingy between me and Albon. The traction we get out of there. Yeah, take that. About halfway through the race now. You having a laugh? That's now 2. I'm covering them off and they're just hitting the back of me. You're having a laugh. No, no, no. That's just... Jesus Christ. I've got no front wing because of bloody Russell. Now it's going to drop us right out of the points, and all our teammates are just going to get the points for us this race. But this championship's going to absolutely go to ruins because Mercedes are P1 and 2. I'm not happy now. I've got to pit. We never had to pit. I guess that's kind of karma, though, to be honest. We've got... No, because I don't really reckon that was our fault with Leclerc and Albon. Yes, team! Yes! We got ahead of him! Oh, that's perfect. We got ahead of Albon. Our team's done as a treat. I'm trying to use it in the best places as possible, Jeff. I'm trying to also keep it in track limits and make sure we don't spin and make sure we don't come off. So if you just be patient with me, I'll be able to use my battery efficiently throughout the lap. Swear to God, you'd do anything again, Albon. Don't do anything silly. Oh, you would! Well done. Well done. Oh, my days. It's another P21. It's just that... Oh... Not happy with this season at all. That's now 3 P21s we've had in the race. I think 2 of them was because of driver errors, and then this one is just the AI. We've covered him off, and he decides to go down the inside anyway. Especially into Maggots and Beckett's. Yeah, that's driver error again. But I'll say that is driver error. But if Albon and Leclerc, and who's ever that Racing Point that is, or Force India, whatever you guys want to bloody call it. I'm just going to start calling it Force India from now on. Force India Racing Point, same thing, same car, but just different names. Yes, Jeff, be quiet. We're nearly a lap down, and we're not happy with it either. I thought we could have a really good race by doing it on the wet. I really did think I had the pace as well. But we just don't know where the breaking point is for that, and it's shocking. I still don't know that. But... shut up, Jeff. Thank you very much. I don't want any more... Yeah, of course he would go do fastest lap as well, wouldn't he? We don't have front wing damage either, but... we're just trying to bring this car home. We're not going for quick laps at all. it's just getting past a sick joke. At this rate, we won't be nowhere near winning the championship. And if it comes to it, I will back my teammate up just to win the championship. This season, I will do anything. If my teammate is ahead of me in like a couple of races to go, I will be number 2 driver. I'd quite happily give him the championship. Because to be honest, I do not deserve this championship one bit. So if he does passes, I will help him with the championship. If he comes up to me, I'll just let him go. But just seconds slower. Hamilton and Bottas are just about to start lap 12. We've not even completed the first sector yet. We just can't. We need to try a bit more in the wet races. Because obviously all I do is just practice in the dry. In theory I should be practicing him in the dry and the wet. That's why I've got no wet setups. All mine are dry setups. So going into this weekend, I thought, yeah, it'd be a dry everything and it's wet, and not had time to practice in the wet. So I thought maybe we could. He's just putting in fastest laps after fastest laps. It's really starting to annoy me now. Our ES is very... Oh no. Let's go so wide there. But we shouldn't get lapped by them, surely. Not now. But it's going to affect this championship so much. He's going to be running off with it. Thank you, Bottas. Thank you. You know what? I want you to win the championship. No, I'm joking. I don't want you to win the championship. I want Danny Ric to win the championship, but... I'll be careful, Latifi, because Albon will take you out. Going through Maggots and Beckett's. He'd probably do it into Stowe. He'll do it anywhere on this track. Oh, that's a massive driver error. Now he might actually get lapped. Right, they're now coming behind us. Hold on. There they are. Because of that driver error, that's put him right on the back of me. But Daniel Ricciardo, he's had a very good race. As we cross the line to start lap 13, then Bottas and Hamilton will come across the line in about 3, 2, 1. There we go. Hamilton wins it. At least that's not 26 points on on Bottas's back. But it gives us 3 minutes to get round. If we make another driver error like that, that's gonna be even further behind. And the car has felt very good, and it's just the confidence in driving in the wet, I reckon. We have no proper like experience in the wet, so we just need to practice in the wet, or we go into the weekend and just see what it's like if it's dry or wet, because if it's wet we'll just practice in the wet, because there's no point if it's just gonna be dry practicing in the dry. Let's give us 3 minutes, and it gives us about 2. This has turned out to be a really windy, moany race, and I don't like it when I do videos like this, but there we go. Driver of the day, Daniel Ricciardo. Damn it. Carlos Sainz, I don't know where he started, but oh well. We will just try our best in the next episodes coming up. That's all what we can do, but if we do manage to win the championship, and then we do win the championship, but the racing and the driving of me, I don't think I deserve it. But if we do have it, then I will take it. But I'll do everything I can to catch up. But I think Daniel Ricciardo is now ahead of us in the points. It's a bit disappointing, but if it does come to it, and it comes to teammate battle, I'm just going to let him through. There's no point of trying to mess around with Daniel when Mercedes is getting away with the championship, because this is now Mercedes, like, yeah. There we go. 55 points. $98 points. Yeah, 20 points today, I think. No, they didn't. So, was it Russell that hit us? Because he carried on. But, I'm sorry, Albon got P18. But we just couldn't keep with the pace. We did a best of a 139.8. Oh, we wasn't that far off then. But race director, incidents. No, to be honest, first lap with Daniel Ricciardo was my fault. Warning with Blue, warning with Russell. He didn't even get a warning for spinning us around. He got a warning for hitting us. I got a warning for hitting Russell because he brake checked me. But I just want to see what the Mercedes pace were like. $142, 130. Look at that consistency as well. That's just... Daniel wasn't doing too bad either. He was doing 140s and 139s the whole race. Then you come down to us. We did 41, 41, 42, 40, 49, then we did a 2 minute, another 2 minute, another 2 minute, and then we just couldn't keep with it. But that'll be the end of the Grand Prix weekend, and I will see you guys for the next Grand Prix, which I do believe is Monza. So I'll see you guys then. Peace out.